Sawtooth Day. What's happening, guys? Little time for a little sitting and bullshitting. Sitting on the king today. I'm kind of the backside of the shop. I get like well, I told y'all last week I was going to do a tutorial on the flipper delete on the Skype. So I did do that. I'm going to piece that in there so y'all can see it. The home hack method. I didn't go over a couple things on that. So basically, before I even show that video, clip it in here. I'm going to splice it in a minute ago. I left it a little bit proud. You'll see it in the video because I hope to eventually use the mill to profile that to exactly what I want. That's why I left it how I left it. But it's close, and you'll see in the video here in a second. But this is just an idea of how to do it in your house, whatever stuff you got. So that's pretty much how I figure everything out, just what I got and how to make it work kind of thing. So I'm going to splice that in here right about now. All right, we're back on this flipper delete. I was telling you guys in the last video, it kind of marked the spots and it didn't really come out that clear. If you look right here, see those lines that I've got marked in there? It's basically for the closed and open position. So from this position, see where that line is, and then from the open position, hopefully you can see where that line is. To make a line on this other side, I kind of made it a black line so you can kind of sort of see the angle of what I'm going to go through. Try to trim that off. Then I want to trim the section that's closest to the pivot. There's nothing hanging out in either position, and we'll get to that step right here in a second. All right, we're back. So look right here, this is the blade. It's all taped up. Sorry about the shadows, only one way to do it, and it's kind of like get behind it and do it. So on a home hack method, you got to kind of figure out what works best for you, what you got handy. I have a ton of these angle grinders, and this is just a metal cutting disc, and I want to stay on the outside of that line that I've already prepped on that first off I showed you. And I also want to keep this blade super cool. So for me, I run my garden hose over here, turn my garden hose on, go to cutting, and then I'll show you what happens here in a second. There's no point of me showing the cutting other than wear your safety gear, right? All right, hang on. All right, right off the grinder, you can kind of see how rough that finish is. It's just straight up off the cutting wheel. Let me see if I can black it out where you can see it a little better. There we go. Straight off the cutting wheel, you can see how close I am to those lines. I don't know if you can see it or not, but I'm fairly close, but I'm not all the way over the lines. Next step, we're going to smooth it over a little bit. So I'm going to take that same angle grinder, put a sanding disc in it, one of those flapper wheels, and kind of smooth this a little bit, prep it for the drill press. Hang on, and I'll show you what that looks like. All right, so that was the flapper wheel I was talking about. You don't have to be anything fancy. The main thing is just keep it cool, right? What I'm trying to do is keep the gouging out of this, where I hacked it up a minute ago, and I know not everybody has a vise like this and stuff like that, but use what you got, right? Just put it in there and take the gouges out, smooth it over a little bit, and prep it for the drill press. So I really hadn't mentioned it to you before now, but the main point of doing this is you want to try to keep everything perpendicular to this flat, right? So you want everything as square as you can get it. So from here to here, you want a good 90-degree cut, the best you can get it, right? You're never going to get it good by hand. That's just like, you can get better at it, but you're never going to be great at it by hand. So you can see I got imperfections in this thing. It's not perfect. So the reason I'm putting on this is basically when I lay it down, I want to be able to go across. I'm not going to use this, but this is just for an example. I'm going to go across this and make it square. So now whatever I set it on, I want it square to the spindle so that when I cut on it, everything I'm cutting is going to be perpendicular to the flats. Make sense? Hopefully. I'm going to put it in my little rig, and I'll show you that rig in a second. All right, here's my rig. So you can see I got it bolted to this block. This block is parallel, even with this table, just up. And I got it where I'm just hitting that bottom of that shoulder with the bottom of this. And basically, as I turn it on, I'm just going to take it and scrape it across there, basically to even out all these lines, get them nice and smooth. And we'll go back behind it, smooth it out further and further. This one does have a little load in it, so I may have to change stones in this, but you can use any stones. Like I like these Craftsman kits. Where's the other one? There's another one around here somewhere. Here it is. Porter cable. Like you can buy these Home Depot, Lowe's, Track Supply, those kind of places. The pink ones are usually the smoother ones, and the gray ones are usually the rougher ones. All right, I'm gonna get started on this, and I'll show you what it looks like here in a second. All right, so hopefully you can see almost in no time I've got it all pretty much looking good except for this bottom part. And this is what I was talking about being out of parallel. So basically that bottom half is inboard to the top half. So you just keep grinding until you get it all smooth over. That's all. That's all there is to it. Nothing really big deal, right? All right, so you can see now this whole face is nice and parallel. At least as parallel as we can get it here in the home hack. It's not like you're at a machine shop and doing this stuff. You're just using a drill press, right? It's just an easy way to do it. But you can see I got it all cleaned up now. Roll that radius over here a little bit and rolled it over here a little bit. Be careful not to get back on your lock tang back in here. But you can see I got a relief right here before I get to mine on this one. So this one's okay. But just kind of rounding those corners a little bit, smoothing it over. Right now I'm still on this gray wheel. I'm going to change it out to a pink wheel and just smooth it over a little bit and just kind of work the process up, same as you would with your sharpening your knife. All right, so you can see now I'm on the pink wheel now, and I've got it pretty much blended all the way through there. Let me see where I already hacked off or made this into a more of a finger troll anyhow in the past. I think I showed that in the video too, but anyhow, you can see how it's working around here. Now we still have sharp edges here and here, and now some here because I've been back in here, so we got to chamfer them all down, and then we'll come back in with a polish wheel and polish it all off. How I do that chamfer, sometimes I do it by hand, sometimes I'll put it on here with one of those little angled bits, kind of sort of like this guy, and you know, just trying to work that corner of this on that same process, just keep it high and kind of work it around like that. Sometimes that works, but when you get surfaces like this that are dropping down, changing basically Z heights from spindle, you just want to do it I like to do it by hand personally. I mean, that's what works for me. So I'm going to deburr it, and then I'm going to put a wheel in it to polish it, and we'll polish it all up and see what she looks like here in a second. All right, I lied. I did decide to do one more step. I'll put this little flapper wheel, which is like a Dremel style flapper wheel. I think this is like 80 grit or something, and just hit that edge just to smooth everything over just a little bit. You can see it's already getting kind of slick. Feels pretty good, nice and even. I'll probably come back behind it with some sandpaper, and then I'll deburr it. All right, hang tight. All right, here we are. Got the chamfers done. See, this whole side's nice and deburred now. This side's nice and deburred. No sharp edges anymore. Did hand sand it a little bit, but that's what you're looking like on the inside. Nice and smooth. Almost hit it with a polisher. Does it really need to? No, the finish on the other side is kind of duller anyhow. Kind of a more grainy finish, I'd say, probably belt finished right there. So I could leave this like this. I just want to clean it up. I don't know. For me personally, I just want to polish that. And I might rough it back up afterwards, but I want to polish it right now. All right, here we are, final step, more or less. You see I pretty much got a good little polish on it. Definitely shinier than the stock style finish brush, or the belt rather, finish here. Not perfect, but looks pretty good to me. My eyes ain't as good as they used to be. You probably could do better if I could see better, but you see some striations in it. Left line from not sanding enough, but let's see what it looks like when it's together. Hang on one second. Let's do this. All right, here we go. So you see just a hair crowned right here. Right there where the flipper used to be. Probably should have took that in just a little bit more. And on the deployed, and this is phosphor bronze again. It's just crowned. That's barely crowned, man. You can just barely feel it, but it's pretty close for a home hack. That's not bad at all. So that's what we got. Sawtooth Dave, home hack, flipper delete. Let me know what you think. Easy process, really, man. It's not that difficult. You know, obviously you wouldn't have wanted this to, well, you might want to do it whatever you want to, because this is a expensive knife from, but you know, do it whatever you want. But I'd start with a cheap knife and kind of work your way up, build the skills as you go. You can see on this one, it's not perfect, but I think this is perfect for what this knife is. And now this knife feels way better for me. Like being able to choke up without that flipper in the middle here and getting on it good. Yeah, I like this a lot better. So I'm glad I did this to this one. And then I still got my other one, at least for now anyhow. So I have the flipper on the one and the thumb stud on the other. And this one also is phosphor bronze, and the other one has a hole in it instead of this one. So I got two completely different skikes now at this point. But let me know what you think. Quick little home hack tutorial on how to. Because Billy says if it didn't happen on video, it didn't happen. Of course, I told him that first, but I gotta agree. All right. All right, so hopefully that give you a basic idea how I hacked the flipper tab off of it. If y'all got any questions, hit me up. But you know, everybody's pretty much talked about it. It's a Blade Show. So from Blade Show last year, I got this Old Dominion Chupacabra. This one's in magnet cut. This is when Well, I guess Matty Cut still is all the rage, but this is when it's still kind of sort of more newer to the scene. And this one was over at Aaron's for a long time. I got it back and kind of fell in love with it. The Chupacabras. I do like this knife a lot. But anyway, looking forward to this year's Blade Show. Hopefully meet a bunch of you guys. And I think I'm going to look at it more of a social thing rather than a purchasing and consumer thing this year. I mean, obviously I'm still looking, right? But like, well, Billy kind of talked about it, like he's going to socialize and get t-shirts and hats and that sort of thing. And that's kind of, I guess I'm kind of sort of going to try to approach it the same way. But like I was kind of saying on his live that I popped in on Saturday, there's like, when you, and if you hadn't seen Billy and Courtney's lives, go check them out. Apex Alchemy, go check their lives out. They sitting in a big, huge ball ass living room this time. Anyhow, when you go to the Blade Show, like if you've never been, you got this thing in your mind, like you think you know what you're gonna do till you get there, and it's kind of like you get there and you're just like, it's not at all. It's not all what you think of, and it's so the sensory overload. So from a biker point of view, like you see one custom bike at a gas station, you might be like focusing on that bike, but then if you go to a custom bike show or at an event, you're like, there's so many of them. The baddest bike will roll right past you, and you won't even look twice at it because there's so much. That's the same thing at the knife thing. You go there, there's going to be so many cool things to look at, so many cool things to see, people to talk to, that all your plans are going to go out the window. So just have fun with it. If you've never been before and you're going, have fun with it. Obviously, any of you guys that know me from the videos, just holler at me. Yeah, I may or may not have somebody with me. I think probably my brother and one of his buddies might go, and then my bro that I grew up with in Atlanta, Sean will probably be with me. I don't know if both days, one day, whatever else, but we plan to do some riding too. He just got a brand new Street Glide ST, so we'll probably do some riding on there too. But yeah, holler at us, man. Like, I'll be around. I know I don't look the most friendly, but I am super friendly. So just yell, holler, yell, whatever at me, and we'll bullshit. What else do I got to say about that? I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. I'm super excited. I guess that's why I brought this knife back out. It's just kind of like reminisce about last year. I did get a Mac 2 last year too. So same live. Somebody asked me about what I thought about the Mac 2. I loved it. Mateo liked it more than me, and he kept asking me and asking me about the 10th time he asked me. I was like, I just said the hell with it, and I sold it to him. But otherwise, I'd have that Mac 2 still. I might buy another one. I don't know. We'll just see what happens this year. Like, I kind of sort of like the Miller Brothers stuff. Some of the stuff they got's a little too on the upper end for me, but we'll see. You know, when we get there, stuff might happen. And another thing I'm kind of sort of thinking about maybe at this Blade Show is to do more investing in, like, maybe potentially a belt sander, heat treat oven. I might get a surface grinder. There's a guy here locally that's got one I'm talking with. So I'm kind of ramping up into that whole, I want to do more making stuff. Like, not necessarily all mods, but making and mods maybe. I don't know. Something to work into. I know I ain't got the mill running yet, and I'm already talking about making stuff, but the part that I ordered for the mill was supposed to be here yesterday. It didn't show up, so, you know, Memorial Day weekend. It's going to be here Tuesday. I leave Thursday, so chances are I won't even look at it till 2 weeks from now. So kind of sucks because I'm hoping to get it done this weekend and at least try it. But oh well. So at the end of this video, I've been telling you I'll be working on the shipping container over there. So I took a video a little bit last night, and I'm going to try to go in here today and take a little bit of the inside where you can see it. But I took a little bit of video to kind of give you guys an idea what's going on over there. And if you're interested in that had nothing to do with knives, but if you're interested in that, it's coming up next. And if not, hey, we'll see you next week. Appreciate y'all. Later. Hope to see you at your blade. All right, y'all, we're doing a handheld here, but this is our shipping container build, so you kind of see the progress of it. The stairs, all those stairs going up and down, they're all metal, fabricated from scrap that we got from a awning, and also from machines that were sent to my old work. I'm gonna walk a little closer, so it's gonna be handheld, so it's gonna be a little wobbly, so just so you know. So that's kind of what the side that faces the shop looks like. That back side over there faces the chicken coop. This back side over here kind of faces our backyard. You hear the wind chimes and everything in the background probably. I'm not going to walk all the way up there, but you see we got redwood for the stairs. And there's Miss Socks because she got to be in every video, right? A couple windows, 3 windows on this side, and one big picture window on the other side. You can see the door right there is basically the metal flip-flopped. So if you look at the way the corrugation goes, it's reversed to the door. I'll come over here so you can see it a little better. See how the ends are outs and outs are ins? It's something we did a while back. Yeah, I did all the welding and everything, so all the tubing, the square tubing and all that stuff, I welded all that stuff in position over here, and same with the stairs, all that. I fabricated all that. We fabricated, my wife and I fabricated all that. The ceiling from this was a barn that was over there. We took all the tin off of it, and then the square tubing made the frames, and same with this part. We made all that stuff, welded all that stuff together. So this is what it looks like kind of under the awning, and you see the grill over there. My wife wants to put a whole outdoor eating area over here. Obviously the trailer's got stuff we're working on, so we'll walk around this back side and we'll show you a little more. So this is kind of the back side of the trailer, and over here, I mean, these two major doors are welded together, but you can see this little cutout right here, like that. That's another door we welded in there. She wants to put basically a barn door on the inside that kind of covers it up, so we needed half the door closed, and we didn't want it open full height because it's getting in the way of the framing on the inside. This back side here, so you can see that big picture window right there, back side of the stairs. All right, here we go. So you can see we got spray foam in the back side of that door. We got to come up with something to cover it all up with, but this is kind of the inside now. Going with plywood for the basic. I know it ain't focusing for shit. Give it a second here. Come on, focus. Focus, grasshopper. I don't think it's going to focus. Let me see if I can step back and get it to focus. Sorry about the bad camera work, guys. But anyway, you can see we got it framed out in here. Some windows in there. You can see we got the spray foam, closed cell spray foam already in it, and we're running R13 on top of it. So you can see how we got it kind of prepped right there. And then we're putting the plywood on top. We'll probably come back behind those corners and put like angle iron or something to make it look kind of industrial. My wife wants it to look industrial in here, but you know, there's a big huge window right here. She wants to put a barn door on top of this one. Same thing there. We got to come up with something to put on top of that door. But that's what the building's looking like so far. I think it's going to be really good. So it's, you know, it gets hotter than Hades here, but it seems to be maintaining like right now it's like a little after 9 in the morning. It's probably in the 80s outside, maybe in the 90s already. I don't know. But it's still fairly cool in here. So the insulation is working. So hopefully once we get it all done and put air conditioner in here to keep it like a cooler. Anyways, quick look at what we got going on so far. All the stuff on the inside. I got a buddy of mine helping me working all the carpentry work, but this thing ain't focusing for crap, so I don't want to waste you guys' time. But that's a quick look on the inside. All right, guys, that's about it for today. Old Sammy, Wets, we just chilling. Super excited for Blade Show, so hopefully we'll see you guys there. All right, y'all have a good week. See you next week, or I guess maybe next week. I don't know. Maybe I'll do a video. Maybe we won't. Anyway, y'all have a great week. Hope to see you at Blade. If you can't make it, I hope you can live vicariously through videos. All right, y'all be cool. Later.